All righty, here is our agenda this afternoon. We'll call the roll and just check in with everybody. We'll do the procedural stuff. I want to talk, Mindy can talk a little bit about ICON, assembly, rally. There's been communication since we last met about that. I'm going to have Heather talk about the Avengers she has assembled for the 2021 board. I want to talk about some upcoming programming, and then we'll just open it up as time allows. So Andrea, bang the gavel and call a roll.
All right, I'll just go through the names. I will mark them off as I go. So Brad, check. Heather?
Yes.
Kevin?
Present.
Kim? I think
she was not going to make it. She had a conflict.
Got it. Chelsea?
Here.
Great. Stephanie?
I hadn't heard from her.
Natasha?
Hello, everyone.
Oh, hey, Natasha. Reba? And
sometimes
then,
she had conflicts depending on class schedule.
All right. And then Mindy, I think I heard your voice. And then what about Dr. Hill? Is she on today?
I don't see her yet.
All right. So that is 6 board members plus Mindy.
Thank you, Andrea. Andrea sent out the minutes and Kevin sent out the financial update. Any questions, amendments, comments about those? All right. Can I get a motion to adopt them as submitted?
Question, Natasha.
Yes, Natasha.
Hello. I don't think I received those. How did you? I don't think I got the minutes or the financials.
Oh no.
It might have gone to your old email. I didn't look when I hit reply on that.
Oh yes, I do apologize because I've got like 25 different email addresses. So.
I'm so sorry. What email address should we be using?
That's a good question. Use my work address. It's NASuber, SUBER @SCOR.com.
Got it. I just sent you the minutes.
Thank you very much. I'm sure they're perfect.
Can I get a motion to adopt the minutes and the financials as presented?
I'll make that motion. This is Heather.
Great. Second.
I'll second, Chelsea.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? No. Wonderful. Mindy, lots of changes and decisions since we last met. I've put some of that on the screen here, but please fill us in with what's going on.
Okay. Since you have it first, we'll start with Leadership Rally. You have the time, you have the date. That is all that I know officially. Off the record, I know more. And I'm going to share it with you, but just know that none of this is in concrete yet. It's going to follow a similar leadership rally pattern, but very condensed. And some of the information that's typically shared is going to be shared like as pre-reading. There'll probably be some videos that'll be sent out to people. So it looks like that 5-hour slot that is there, we're going to have a keynote speaker. And what's nice is the keynote speaker is going to be speaking not just to our incoming leaders, but I believe they're planning to invite all of this year's leaders to hear the keynote as well. Michelle Olson, our chair-elect, is really interested in just sort of thanking everyone and acknowledging what an exhausting year all of this year's leaders have had and with the challenges that everyone has had to deal with. So they want to include those people for that part of the rally. There'll be a PRSA 101 nuts and bolts kind of session. They'll have breakouts for the chapter leaders, the district leaders, and the section leaders. It won't be very much time, just about an hour, hour and 15 minutes. And then I believe they're going to have some sort of an open forum idea exchange kind of thing. So it's still a work in progress. Don't have the, I think I know who they're going to have for a keynote speaker, but I'm not at liberty to say that because it hasn't been announced yet. So yeah, oh, the other good thing about Rally is it's going to be open in addition to this year's leaders and all the incoming leaders. Typically, Leadership Rally is just one person per chapter or district, but because of the virtual environment, it's a free-for-all. Like if an incoming chapter president wants their whole board to be there and hear some of the information, that's going to be perfectly fine. Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
Mindy, do you know, are they going to use this as a dry run for the fancy schmancy technology they're going to use for ICON?
I don't think so. As far as I know, they keep talking about using Zoom. So unless something has changed and I haven't heard about it. I wish they would use the other one. It sounds like it's really cool software event platform. So that leads into ICON.
And that event will be free to anyone who wants to go?
For Leadership Rally, yes. No, at no cost.
Okay.
ICON, hope you guys have been seeing the emails that have been coming out. They have 5 keynote speakers announced. It's all on the website. They have the schedule, what they're calling schedule at a glance, where they sort of have blocks of time and different things that'll be taking place during those blocks, but it's not a detailed schedule. They have listed a few of the breakout session topics, but not all of them. I'm kind of waiting for them to build that out. I think that's going to help with registration. And I'm just curious if you guys have heard anything from any of your chapters about the cost. I've been starting to hear some pushback on the price point for it. Some of the other regional reps have as well. So we're just curious if you guys have heard anything.
I heard from at least one leader who said they had registered for Nashville and that they were probably going to request a refund for whatever reason. I didn't want to dig too much, but.
Okay, that's fair. And there's all that information is on the ICON website. If you were registered, you're automatically going to be registered for virtual. If for some reason you make a refund, you'll be able to do that. So all the details are there.
With the person with the 803 area code, please mute yourself. We're getting a lot of.
I'm sorry, this is Reed. I'm trying to slide. I will do that right now.
Thank you.
All righty. Brad, have you heard from national staff about having Dal Galloway, the chair of ICON, speak in September to the district?
You floated that to me. I have followed up with Dell. He has the information, and we expect to have him deliver his great sideshow presentation at the September gathering. And Mindy, you can elaborate on this. I will tell the group we got a preview, very high-level preview of the technology that they'll be using for ICON. It is not Zoom in any way at all. It is specifically designed to create an event-type experience in a virtual environment. It looked rather impressive what little they showed of us. So I'm excited about that, particularly as we look at how do we hold events in the future under these circumstances. Is this going to be something either for our own chapter or the district, or even for the companies and clients that we work with? Is this something that we might look at as an opportunity to create something more than just a 7x7 or a 3x3 square and everybody staring at each other?
Yeah, I know nothing about the platform. I knew nothing about it until Dell talked about it last week on District Council. I'm not privy to those conversations, but it's a platform called 6Connect or Connects. I forget. Anyway, I looked it up. I looked up their website, and there's not much that you can see without scheduling a demo, but it does look very, very interesting. yeah, it is not your typical meeting. It looks like a very, very robust platform. Be interested in participating in it and seeing how it works. I've talked to a few people outside of PRSA who have been to some virtual conferences that have used a different type of platform where there's different breakout rooms and just the whole appearance of your screen. It gives you a sense of being more immersed in the conference experience instead of just watching people talk. So I haven't participated in anything like that personally, but I will look forward to it.
I've
So
been
I'm
to a
very
few,
exciting.
Mindy.
Pardon?
This is Natasha. I've been to a couple.
You like them?
I do. It's still exhausting. But there is an opportunity. I do like the breakout sessions, and I do like their lobbies for vendors and where you can upload your content and video. So it's almost like a virtual booth. So in our company has participated in a few of those. So it's been interesting.
Okay, cool. Good to hear.
Just by show of hands here, how many of you all are planning to attend ICON in some form? Okay, wonderful. I know there has been very preliminary talk about creating some type of window for gatherings by district or section. Still waiting on the information about that and how that would be executed, but that my ears perked up when I heard that, and look forward to hearing more details about what opportunities may exist for Southeast leaders or Southeast members to get together that week.
Yeah, I hope they're able to do that. I'm glad that Dell took that to staff to ask them how they might make that happen. I think that's something that people really look forward to when they go to any conference. It's not just the speakers and the content, it's the people you run into, that you sit beside, that you see at lunch, that you go have drinks with. People really enjoy that. And if we can replicate that in some way in the virtual environment, I think that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
Mindy, I was going to say, if there's a way that they could maybe put together like a 2 or 3 minute video that they could share with the chapters to promote this new thing that they're doing. Because I think people see online, and like me, I just pictured sitting here on Zoom. But if it's this new, really cool technology, then I think if there's a way to promote that, and chapters could run something like at a meeting or put it on their website or send it out in emails, but something that's like, hey, here's 2 minutes of the new technology we're breaking out, or how we're staying ahead of technology, that type of thing that might lure people to watch and say, oh, well, I'll pay for that.
That's a great idea, and I'll certainly
idea.
carry that suggestion to staff. That's excellent. Okay. And then the last item, Brad, that you have up here is the Leadership Assembly. And what you have is what I know. It's Saturday, December 5th. They are still talking about having it in person somewhere in a city, somewhere in the probably lower 48 United States. I have no idea. Details to come. If they're having it Saturday, December 5th, if that seems to be firm, that does give us some deadlines for board candidates. If someone wants to run from the floor to serve on the board, there's a deadline associated with that, which I believe is 30 days before. And also, usually they take 60 days ahead of the assembly to finalize the delegate counts for the chapters. Delegate counts are based on number of chapter members. And unfortunately, I suspect some of our chapters probably have lost at least one delegate. Maybe in the case of Georgia, they've lost 2 from what they were expecting because of membership declines since the beginning of the year. So I expect National will be communicating more on all of that soon, I hope. Just a quick note for you guys, just an FYI. I'm going to be on vacation, woohoo, actually going somewhere, August 23rd to the 30th. We live in Virginia Beach, so we're going to hop in the car and we're going to drive 6.5 hours to Asheville, North Carolina. And we are going to be socially distancing on every trail that I can find that has a beautiful waterfall. We have a vacation rental that we're renting just outside of Asheville. So we are going to get away and have a little bit of a reset and get away from some of the craziness. We almost hesitated. We were like, going to North Carolina, y'all's COVID cases are not good down there. But, you know, we'll be safe and do the right things, and really looking forward to it. So in my absence, I'll probably put Michael Malero on my out of office message. He's the member services manager at headquarters. And if you guys need anything, he'll be happy to help you while I'm out. And I will respond to anything else when I get back.
Great. Thank you, Mindy. Maybe I'll just come over and knock on your cabin and wave through the window.
Yeah, I haven't told the Western North Carolina chapter that I'm coming. I'm unplugging. So
yeah,
I'll see
good
them
for you.
another time.
Awesome. Have a wonderful vacation.
Thank you.
All right, I want to turn it over to Heather and let her share her screen and talk about 2021.
Heather, you're on mute.
I was still on mute. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. I wanted to say thank you to all of those of you who served this year and who are going to be serving next year. I really appreciate it. So kind of running through here really quickly. I'll skip over myself. Kim Marks Malone is going to be stepping up as chair-elect, and she also was named fellow here recently, so make sure that you congratulate her. And then Brad is moving into past chair. Andrea is going to be staying on as secretary. And we have Mikey Mooney from the Georgia chapter is going to be stepping in as treasurer. Yes, very excited about that. Meredith Libby, who is the previous Nashville chapter president, is going to be stepping in as a director at large and our communications chair. Anna Marshall Wilson is going to be another new director at large. And then Karen Potter is going to be our other director at large, joining Natasha, who's staying on the board, and Reba. And last, our PRSA ambassador is Leah Bussler, and she's at Union University. So hopefully she'll be able to join us for a couple of meetings. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the board slate?
Yay.
That's how I feel.
Looks great. I'm so glad Meredith is joining. You all will love her.
She has been great so far, just in being with it on questions, and everybody's been really great. So I'm excited about it.
So Heather, are you comfortable enough presenting this to the chapter leaders tomorrow during the best practice call?
Sure, I can do that.
Awesome.
And then is the vote a month after that?
Yes, we will give it to them for voting in September, and then everybody will be rip-roaring ready to go.
Perfect.
I have a question. How do you choose the PRSA ambassador? I'm just curious. I'm sure there are tons to choose from, but what's the process there?
I think that they're actually chosen by national. Is that right, Brad?
That is my understanding. Yeah, I really put that on the radar because I discovered at ICON last year that there were district-specific ambassadors, and I thought, well, they need to be a part of this. So I began looping in as best I could our particular ambassador. That year she's had some health issues. I don't think she's been able to be part of this, but at least getting that on our radar so that we can create that connect and visibility toward both organizations.
Love it. Good idea.
Well, well done, Heather. You're a lot farther along than I was a year ago. So I think you've got a great set of team members put together here. for next year, and look forward to seeing what great things you all do.
Well, thank you. And thank you to you and to Kevin. You guys really helped out a lot, and Mindy, with pulling in some of these contacts with people that you guys knew. So thank you.
Yeah, excited for you. Excited to see Anna Marshall Wilson back too.
So I'm going to take back over Heather, if you want to bail out of that one. You know, that Saturday, December 5th, I think there'll probably be some football stadiums that'll be empty that day, so we could have leadership assembly there. Baseball stadium
Too
too.
soon, Brad, too soon.
Bad.
I think it's like happening as we speak.
I just saw the New York Times alert about the Big Ten pulling the plug.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about programming and what we've got ahead for the rest of the year. Tomorrow, we'll have Heather present the 2021 slate, and then Mike Malaro from National Membership will talk about member retention, member recruitment strategies. He's got some data from the webinars that happened throughout earlier this year, as well as some best practices. So look forward to that at a time when membership may be in jeopardy or faltering in some of our chapters. Being able to keep those relationships hot and find ways to keep folks engaged and see the value, I think, is important at this time. Next month, we have a jam-packed program. We'll take the board vote for 2021. That shouldn't take too long. Del Galloway will come on and talk about ICON and make a pitch for two chapter leaders on why they should be there and why they should be encouraging their chapter members. And then Felicia Blow from the National Diversity Effort will come on and talk about the digital D&I strategic plan, as well as a little bit about the toolkit. She presented at the district council last week, and I thought it was some really good stuff to help chapter leaders understand what are the national goals, what are the things they can be doing to support that. And so she's agreed to come on in September. Had initially put down here no call, best practice call on ICON, just to give folks back some time, since ICON will be happening later that month. And I've got quick start down here, and this is something I mentioned in previous gatherings of us, to think about how do we get folks revved up and excited about 2021, since haven't had a conference in 2 years. Is there something we can do at the district level to get folks excited? I'm kind of on the fence and would like the discussion here about and this would be things like, let me go to my next slide here. So a keynote speaker to get folks fired up, pumped up, then really a rapid fire around the horn, navigating the PRSA website, social media best practices, sponsorships, some other topics we can identify, not belaboring any of those, but really just kind of giving folks a high overview on some things they need to know about, particularly if they're moving into a leadership position for the first time. But now I'm also looking at that September 25th date and wondering myself, is there overlap? Is there too much overlap? Is this duplicative of what people may get in Leadership Rally? So I would love to hear what you all think about that from a district level, and whether there's duplicative stuff there, or whether we should go forward simply as a means to, not everybody's going to go to the thing on the 25th. So let's catch those people up. Let's, if they get nothing else, they'll get a little inspiration on the keynote speaker, but let's continue to drive home the district value proposition and do something.
Hey, Brad, if I could just jump in quickly.
Sure.
Typically at Leadership Rally, the districts do meet together, the chapters from each district meet together. And that's not going to be a part of Leadership Rally this year, because the thinking is the districts can do their own thing.
Right.
To
Okay.
bring in their incoming leaders. So you're right on target with what
That's good to know.
thinking is from national.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet what the topics are going to be in the breakout sessions for chapters.
Right.
I do know they're going to have a navigating, not so much the public facing website, but the My PRSA, where the chapter dashboards are.
Yes.
That will be a part of Leadership Rally, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we need that or not. And social media and sponsorships, definitely sponsorships. I hear a lot of chapter leaders asking me, what do we do with sponsorships? So I think that's a great topic, and I'll turn it back to you guys to keep discussing.
Brad, could we do something like kind of an introduction to the district and what the district does? And also maybe ask chapter leaders kind of an informal survey kind of thing, what it is they need from us. And that might help us with programming next year.
That's true. Yes. Good thought. Other thoughts? Kevin, refresh my memory. I think it was Mooney who did sponsorships as a BP call a couple of years ago.
I believe that was what he was handling. I couldn't remember he was on there, but we did one, and I feel like it was one of the best attended ones we had, because I think no matter what your time is, people are looking for that.
Yeah.
And I think he did sponsorships for their, I think one of the reasons we brought him in is because he was in charge of sponsorships for their annual conference that they did that year.
Okay. Excellent.
With Georgia.
We can sign him up early. So, other thoughts from you all? As you think about your time when you were a novice, first-time chapter volunteer leader, what were the things that you needed to know or you discovered much later in your service that, boy, I wish I would have known that 6 months ago?
Well, I think in this pandemic, maybe we should talk about the ways each chapter is facilitating their meetings. I think many are doing it in different ways that are all effective. Some are charging for the Zoom meeting, some aren't, some are charging but donating. And just some is a straight Zoom, some it's more like a webinar.
Right. That's good. And what are some options out there they may want to think about that maybe they jumped on the first thing that was the easiest thing to get them through what they thought would be an acute short-term crisis, and they've ridden that now for a while, but is there something out there they should explore that may suit their needs better than what they have?
Absolutely.
Is 90 minutes the right length? I didn't want to belabor it, and we're all done staring into these webcams, but I wanted to give enough time to folks feel like it's an investment of their time, that they get something out of it, but I also didn't want to belabor the point. I'd rather leave them wanting more than being exhausted at the end.
What would be your idea for a keynote speaker?
Well, so I've reached out to, I think I reached out to something on our Slack. I also reached out on the district council Slack for ideas and got crickets. One idea I'm exploring is that at Kevin, was that 2015 or was that 2014? I'm thinking 14.
I think it was late 2014.
Okay. At the Southeast District, we had our own leadership rally in November in Columbia, and we had a speaker by the name of Charles Weathers come, and I thought he was outstanding. He really talks about being an able leader, and in particularly, we're a nonprofit professional organization. What are the wins, the headwinds that you're facing, and what are the things that you can do and think about to be a leader in that space? I had a conversation with his team this morning just to lay out what my vision was, what I'm thinking. They were going to look and see if that was something they could do for us and come back with a proposal. But that's the only name on my list now. But certainly, if there are other names out there that folks have heard before and could recommend, I would love to hear them.
Hey, Brad. There's a guy in the New Jersey chapter. I think he still writes for Strategies and Tactics. Ken Jacob. He's like a leadership guru, older gentleman, but still very relevant.
Okay.
He talks to a lot of PRSA chapters. I'll send you his contact information, and you can take a look at him and see. He has a really nice demeanor as well as really good content. I think he would be very refreshing and encouraging for people who are a little unsure of life right now. So he might be an option as well. I have no idea like what kind of honorariums he charges or anything, but he spoke at the Mid-Atlantic District Quick Start last year.
Okay.
Very, very well received. And I know he's talked to several chapters already this year.
Okay. I may try to get a review from the Mid-Atlantic District just to see what they thought.
And if you reach out to Mike Gross, the district chair.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't be dismayed if you don't hear back from him immediately. His wife's having a baby any day. She may have already had the baby. I haven't heard from him.
Yeah.
But she's like due like right now.
Wonderful.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's her first baby. They're very excited. We love babies.
Hey, Brad, one thought I had for a topic, and maybe it doesn't really fit at this point. Maybe it's more of like a mid-year type thing, is the fatigue, and not like COVID fatigue, but like say service fatigue, whether you've been serving a few years, I think this says a lot about me. I'm thinking about just how tired you can get trying to do things from time to time and stuff. And so maybe it might be better for like a mid-year, just that, all right, we're coming to the second half, but fatigue is a thought.
Yeah. I like that idea. Well, if there are no other thoughts here, I will keep nibbling at this and try to get settled on a design for what this might look like. I get some information back from Charles. I'll reach out to Ken, get some information, and have a better, more formed proposal for you guys next month, so we can start nailing some stuff down. I think also once we get a little more information about Leadership Rally in late September, then we can kind of see where are the gaps that we can fill in at the district level that may not be covered in the event. And then where might we reinforce some things that they heard at the Leadership Rally, or point people to additional resources, so that if they miss that, then they feel like, oh, I've got a make-up opportunity here with the district that I can set myself up for success in 2021.
And Brad, I'll give it some more thought too. This is Natasha, but
Great.
I keep thinking we're on a conference call. You can see me. I don't have to keep announcing myself. I should be accustomed to this by now, right? I do want to mention just very quickly, I just want to thank our the board here for your support during last month's chapter programming with Ben and Jerry. So thank you. I know it seems like it was like 100 years ago at this point, right? But we're still getting really, really good feedback. So thanks again for the district support. We're very grateful.
I'm glad you brought that up, Natasha. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say it was phenomenal. Thank you for coordinating and for inviting us all. It was phenomenal.
You're great hosts too.
Oh, good. Thank you. Well, listen, let me just say I am trying to butter up to Sean so I can get a ride in his hot air balloon. Like, who has their own hot air balloon? Like,
sorry, Brad, I cut you off.
It was very good, and Natasha, I appreciate you bringing that to us and the support of the board. Kevin, I think you were the one who whispered the idea of, is this an option, a lever that we in some way communicate to our chapters to say, hey, if you've got somebody you want to bring in and you need just a little support here and there, either from a technology standpoint, as it was with Sean Greenwood, or some other standpoint, and you're not afraid of giving shared billing with the district. That's a lever that's available to you that we want you to know about, because we're here to support you. We're here to deliver great content for our members. And we, if there's something that we can, as a district, can help support, come talk to us. The worst thing we can do is say no, but you never know what we might be able to pull together from a resource standpoint to help make that happen.
And I think that Zoom is like the perfect example, because it didn't cost that much extra.
Yeah.
But I loved looking on the chat side where it was like, hey, we're here from Los Angeles, or we're here from Oregon, or whatever. I just think if you can offer that to at the local chapter level, that brings in so many more people. And I think hopefully it gives them not just exposure, but a little clout in their area of the good things that they're doing. But, it wasn't like a huge payment,
Right.
But I think that's significant for a lot of chapters, and it could open up so much more to them.
Yeah, and I think the district visibility, even for people who may not have ever heard the district, well, oh, here's this person from the district. What's the district all about? Now you've created an engagement opportunity to better understand what the district does and who the people are connected with it.
And that just made me think maybe that's what we do. Maybe we reach out to each of our individual chapters, the board members, especially now during this particular time when we can just pop into a Zoom call, but maybe we get up 10 or 15 minutes during a program and talk a little bit about the Southeast District. I love the idea about being able to provide that level of support, whatever it is, identifying a keynote speaker. If we decide diversity and inclusion or some other important component is something that we're going to adopt as a district, take that to to different chapters, whatever that may be. But I love that idea of engaging.
No, that's a great point, Natasha. I think it's been 3 or 4 years, but at one point, the district, like anybody on the district board, you were asked to go to 1 or 2 chapters during your year of service to speak in person. But I think now with Zoom, it just makes it that much more accessible for us. But
right.
I'm glad you brought that up.
No, I love that idea. And I will say at the height of last month's program, we had like 412 participants.
Wow.
We never would have gotten that kind of engagement in Charlotte, right?
That's great.
Yeah, 500 registrants. So I mean, that was a great event and an incredible partnership. We promoted it here. Our Charlotte folks promoted it. But it was good. So again, thank you. As a district, in my opinion, because we had our chapter had this level of support, we were able to engage more people and expand our programming and raise the awareness for the district and for our chapter. So thanks again. It's awesome.
Win-win.
Win-win. Right.
Well, thank you, everybody. Is there any other topics that are burning on anyone's mind that you'd like to discuss? That sounds like it looks like Reba joined us there, Andrea, for the purposes of calling roll there. She must have been at 8:03. Well, we will have the best practice call tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 p.m. Central with the board slate discussion, as well as Mike Malero talking about membership engagement. And then we will gather here the day after Labor Day at 3 o'clock. Always, we have the Slack available if you need engagement ahead of them or just an email. Everybody stay safe. Appreciate your leadership, appreciate your engagement, and we'll look forward to talking with you next month.
Take care, everyone. Stay safe.
Yeah,
Bye, everyone.
Everybody.